What is up, people? This is Abraham Walker, Fastgate Walker, your Northern Virginia real estate agent. We're walking again. The weather's back nice. As you may have seen or noticed on our channels, we do like to get out and explore the region, bring our camera with us, and kind of talk to you all about what's going on. So today we're in Kingstown, the second largest planned community in Fairfax County. We're going to go down one of the trails here. We live in Kingstown, and we've been living here since 2013 in a townhome, and we really enjoy it. Hopefully this video will entice you to check out Kingstown. The walking trails are just one of the many perks to living in the Kingstown area. I walk the trails with my kids. A lot of our friends in the community also walk the trails, either with their dogs or also with their kids. You'll see kids walking the trails by themselves with their friends. It's a great way to get outside. Kingstown really isn't a walkable community. And what I mean by that is the community was really more designed for cars. So we don't really have too many, we don't have any shops or stores in the interior of any of the communities. They're all flanking the areas, so immediately outside the communities. And that's cool. That's cool. You could walk to things. You could walk to restaurants. It's possible to walk to the grocery store. It's just not likely. It's just not likely. This trail right here is gorgeous in the morning when the sun is rising, because the sun comes up off to your left over here, and it is something to see. So what I'm thinking about doing today on this walk is I got my hiking boots on. I may take you to Kingstown Park, which is a more of a dirt road or dirt track park walking area behind Stafford Place, one of the 3 condos in Kingstown. We may go there. I gotta see how I'm feeling. This camera rig that I'm holding is a few pounds, so I don't know how I'm gonna feel at the end of this particular trail. But we'll see. Okay, let's finish talking about Kingstown, because if you're watching this, you're probably thinking, you know what? Kingstown has a lot of transactions. If you look at it if you compare a number of transactions per zip code, Kingstown is in the 22315 zip code. We're at the end of the blue line, Franconia Springfield Metro stop. If you're looking for it on a map, is where we are. One thing that's confusing about living in Kingstown is that individuals who live here call Kingstown the entire 22315 zip code, but there's also a planned community called Kingstown inside of the 22315 zip code. It represents about 50% of all of the transactions in the 22315 zip code. The planned community has 5,000, a little bit over 5,500 homes. They just added some properties to the community, about 2 years ago, 55 plus area. So that number is 5,500 more. There was even talk about adding additional properties where the Top Golf development is situated, which I'm pretty sure everyone who's living in Kingstown is happy to hear that Top Golf-like entertainment is back. Top Golf is much more popular, of course, but there is a new company called, I believe, Ruby's that took over the Ruby Tuesdays, no relation, and the Top Golf facility. So Top Golf is leasing their equipment out to that establishment, and now you can go get yourself some golf in right down the street from Kingstown. Okay, back to what we were talking about. So Kingstown is really seen as two places, right? So the general area, or 22315 zip code, postal code for some of you, is Kingstown. It's known as Kingstown. And then there is Kingstown, the community, or the planned HOA. Inside of Kingstown, there are 3 sections called villages. The first section of Kingstown that was developed is called the South Village. It's off of Hayfield Road. And I guess it's between Hayfield Road and Beulah. That's the best way to describe it. Then we have Middle Village, which would be, I guess you could say, Hayfield Road to Van Dorn-ish. It's not all of Van Dorn because Kingstown North kind of weaves between Van Dorn and on both sides of Van Dorn, so that's not an accurate description, but it's a close enough description, right? So I guess you could say it's between Hayfield Road, Van Dorn, and the Kingstown Town Center, where there are popular stores like Home Goods, TJ Maxx. There's 2 grocery stores. What else? A couple restaurants, several restaurants actually. So it's a nice gathering place. Speaking of gathering, might as well plug this right here. I run the largest dads group in DC, the Washington DC metro area. It's called DC Dads Group. If you're a dad, or if you're a mom, or if you know a dad that's looking to connect with other dads in the area, let them know about our group. We have a private Facebook group called DC Dads Group. That would be the best place to find us. Private Facebook group. Just search for DC Dads Group. There's also a meetup group or a meetup page. I never know what to call it. Is it a meetup group or a meetup page? Anyway, using the same name, DC Dads Group. Okay, enough about that. After Middle Village, the next thing we have is North Village. North Village, you're going to find a larger collection of single-family homes, a larger collection of two-car garage townhomes, and yeah, the Middle Village has no single-family homes. So remember, there's South Village, Middle Village. Do I want to cut through here, or do I want to continue up this hill? I feel like if I continue up this hill, it's not as picturesque. Oh, let's look back this way. It's not as picturesque as this particular walk. But yeah, let's cut through here, and then we can take you to Kingstown Park. Okay, we're talking about the villages, right? So we have South Village, which has single family townhouses and condos. There's actually, in South Village, I would say that there's 4 types of single family homes. Would I say that? Or would I say 3? Let's list them out. There's these large luxury estates that can be 4,000 to 6,000 square feet, single family homes. Then there's, I would say, like a moderate size single family home, which is going to be anywhere from 2,500 to 4,000 square feet, and that's total. And then we have these smaller size single family homes, which is going to be, I mean, some of them are 2-bedroom single family homes. Most are 3, and you're going to be below 2,500 total square feet. Okay, so we have 3 types of single family homes. As far as townhouses are concerned, we have units that are 2-car garage units. We have single-car garage units, and then we have these no garage at all units at all. Personally, I'm more of a fan of the in-unit townhouses with no garage. Usually they're wider, so you have more square footage. Now you do lose your ability to have a parking space. Yes, that's true, but you have a lot more square footage. And to be honest with you, winter in Northern Virginia isn't really that harsh to begin with. Sure, we have a couple days of snow every year, but it's nothing really major. I mean, every 5 to 7 years, we may have like a major snowstorm. So you have this garage space that's really going unused for the most part. Okay, so we talked about the townhouses. Let's talk about hold on, I don't know how loud this is. All right, I think it's a little bit quiet. Possibly. This is going to be the louder part of the trail. We're on Kingstown Village Parkway. The park is right over there, so we'll have to cross the street here. But look at this setting. When the leaves change, this little view right here is gorgeous. Simply gorgeous. I love this stretch of the walk. This is my favorite part. You have the sloped hills, you have the tall trees. You have a lot of contrast here. Okay, so we just finished talking about the townhouse types, and then we're still talking about South Village. So then we have the condos, right? So the condos come in, is it 4 or 5 models? I think it's like 5 models. So we have 1 bedroom, 1 bath. I think we have 1 bedroom, 2 bath. We have 2 bedroom, 2 bath. We have a 2 bedroom with like a sunroom area, a rather large 2 bedroom. There's the units that are on the top floors I think they can get close to like 1,400 square feet or so. So those are the condos. It's Stratford Place. Stratford Place is possibly probably 8 to 9 buildings. They're called garden style condominiums because they do not exceed 4 floors. You're looking at wood construction. Look at this picturesque view right here. Yes. Like I said, Kingstown is not walkable in the sense that you see, like we got to this main road, there's no shops, there's no stores here. There's really no stores along this road until you get to Kingstown Town Center, which is going to be, I don't know if that's to the north of us there, and then to the south, back that way down the road, Kingstown Village Parkway, you just get to Beulah, and then you go into Island Creek. So again, not that much commercial development, which is fine for most people. Most people don't really use commercial developments like talking about it, but you should know that all right, so now we're about to go into Kingstown Park area. To be honest with you, we've been living here, almost 10 years. I don't really understand why they call this Kingstown Park because there's really nowhere to park to get here. You could possibly park in the condominium complex, but that gets a little strange, right? You don't want to get towed. While there are some assigned parking spaces, there are some unassigned parking spaces as well. So maybe getting towed isn't that big of a concern. I've never seen a tow truck in the Kingstown area since I've been living here. So scratch that concern. That may not be a concern at all. But again, this is Kingstown South Village. So Kingstown is the subdivision. South Village is where we are. As you can see, we had a nice little decline right there. So we're below the condominiums right there. There's also, I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but there's a little water feature right over there. What do y'all think? Y'all think we should go look at this water feature? So I've never seen anybody fishing here, so I don't think there's any fish to be had. This little pond, or whatever you call this body of water almost connects to the Huntley Meadow Park, another Fairfax County park. So that's a cool feature that's within walking distance to your property. This little road right here looks beautiful when it snows. When it's one of those rare heavy snows that covers the ground, you get full ground coverage, and so you have these bare trees with some snow on them. Also, this is also beautiful when it's fall season, the end of fall, right? Well, towards the end when maybe 50% of the leaves have dropped to the ground, and you have complete ground coverage with leaves, and you have a few more leaves on the trees themselves, and those beautiful hues of orange and such. That's the cool thing about living in Kingstown, in my opinion. With these new subdivisions, right? Like, we're helping a lot of people because of our YouTube channel buy new construction properties all throughout the Northern Virginia region. Well, a lot of these new construction projects, they don't have that much green space. I mean, I guess in the olden days, there wasn't much faith or confidence that Northern Virginia was going to be that popular of a destination. But as time goes on and land becomes more scarce, zoning laws and restrictions have changed to such where the newer townhouse communities, you have like a little patch of grass, right? Look at all the grass they've decided to use and just keep green space for Kingstown. Now, I know this part of the area probably can't be developed anyway because it's probably a wetland or something like that. But even when we were walking through Kingstown, you notice like the wider parking lots or parking features. There's some space between the townhouses as well, the different sections of townhouses. So yeah, that's interesting. At least I find that interesting. I think if I could go back in time and go back to school for a different major, I'll probably do something in urban planning and development. I kind of like this whole development side of real estate. Like, how do people get to a certain plot of land? How to make a certain plot of land attractive. The only problem is those urban development people don't make as much money as I desire to make. So we would all, of course, have to mitigate that. All right, so we're about to come up to the park, quote unquote, park area. Also, if you're watching this still, let me know what you think about the audio. I'm using a new mic setup. This is my first test run. All right, so here is the park area right here. There's a couple tables throughout there, but really that's it. I mean, it's not really much of a park, really, if you ask me. Now, we could continue going down that way. If we take the road, this little walking path all the way to the intersection, there will be a fork in the road where we can either go right to Hayfield Secondary or Elementary School, and then we can go right to Kingstown Village Parkway, and we'll just be on the on the right-hand side, the end of this Stratford Place condominium development. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little road right up here so I can get back home. This video has already been, it's already been 20 plus minutes or so. Average view duration for these videos on our channel usually hovers around 6 minutes. So that means that most people will not be at this section of the video, which is fine. You know, we don't really do our videos for just views. We look at this like a long research project, right? As you notice, we have different interests on our channel, our YouTube channel. One of the interests we're developing right now is the interest I've always had, which is, even when I was selling real estate in New Orleans, I like a particular property type, condos, particularly in more urban developments, urban areas. I just love that, those tall buildings. I love the fact that you could walk to a restaurant. That really excites me. Also, we got married pretty young, so at 25. We had our kids pretty young as well. So my wife told me that it's not ideal that we live in a condo with the boys. So I never got to live in one of these condo developments. Not the garden style. The garden styles are, not as, they're not close to anything, which is not my goal. My goal is to walk out my front door and be somewhere I would drive to. Woo, I'm a little winded. But that's the incline we just climbed. And we still have a little bit more. One thing I wanted to tell you about this little section of Kingstown, which I believe, what is this? This is Kingstown Village Drive and Park Village Drive. Right here, the kids love to come right here on snow days when it snows and it's nice snow cover, and use this hill as a sledding hill. I actually have some video of my boys just this year sledding down this hill. I don't know if I'll put that in as B-roll. That'll take a little time to find, but it's another added benefit, right? It snows and if you live in the South Village, you could just come right down the street. Right down the street, walk down the street with your sled and sled until you get injured. I'm a risk-adverse person, so sledding seems dangerous to me. And it is dangerous. I saw a couple kids sledding while my boys were sledding. I gotta say, that stuff is dangerous. But, you gotta live a little, right? Supposedly, that's what they say. I don't know if that's true. Okay, so we have the second half of Stratford Place. This is called Wigmore Lane. Or really, that's the street name. And then we have the first half, which is going to be the larger portion. This is the condominium development in Kingstown South Village. There is a swimming pool dedicated just to this condominium. There are 3 condominiums in the South Village. Only one of them have their own dedicated pool, swimming pool. What I find interesting is Stratford Place. So the 3 condominiums are Stratford Place, Eaton Square, and what is that other one called? It's in North Village. It's gonna come to me. I can see the little pillar in my mind. I just can't make out the name right now. Anyway, what I find interesting is that Stratford Place has its own It has its own swimming pool, but the condo fees aren't more expensive than the other two condos. Chancery. That's the second name. That's the third condo. The Chancery. All right, man. That was going to bother me all day. So as you can see, Northern Virginia Distinguished Design Award recipient. I will say, once you come here, you're going to notice Kingstown is a beautiful neighborhood. Beautiful community. Look at all this green space. That's what I'm talking about. Like, if you go to other places, they don't have so much green space, except for the largest planned community in Northern Virginia, which is Reston Town Center. Reston Town Center has a lot of green space as well. Although if you're looking at Reston Town Center as a place to live, you're not looking at Kingstown. They're on the opposite side of the universe. One's off at 395. One's off the Dulles Toll Road. One is conveniently located to a lot of major employment bases. Kingstown is located next to Fort Belvoir, which is a large employer as well. We find that a lot of people living in the Kingstown area work at Fort Belvoir or the Pentagon because you're right at the end of the Blue Line metro stop. So you're probably like 5 minutes or so, 5 to 7 minute drive to the metro stop inside the Kingstown community. And since you're at the end of the metro line, you don't have to worry about congestion. You can get yourself a nice window seat if that's what you like. All right, so we're coming back to the section of Kingstown I live in. Look at this. I like this design with the curved street right there. I've always been a fan of that little block there. .75% brick townhouses. They got the vinyl on the back side. Everyone has a fireplace they don't use. All right, we have probably like 10 more minutes before we get back to my house. But yeah, this is Kingstown. Hope you enjoyed this walking tour. Another thing that's cool about Kingstown is we have these larger or wider paths than traditional sidewalks. We do have traditional sidewalks over here, but then look at this. We have the little black asphalt for the trail. It's a little bit wider here. When I walk in the mornings with my boys, we don't like to walk on that side of the street because the sidewalk is too narrow. So then usually it has to be two of us, two and then one behind us. But on this side of the street, we could walk right next to each other and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. Okay, so if you made it this far to the video, thank you so much. If you're thinking about buying a property in Kingstown, reach out to us. There's a link in the description to the Perfect Home questionnaire. Once you fill out that online survey, we'll schedule a time to meet via Zoom to answer any and all questions that you may have about the process. And for the people who know dads in the area, I do run the largest dads group in the DC metro area, DC Dads Group. You can find us on our private Facebook group. Just search DC Dads Group. Hello. You can also find us on Meetup. We have a Meetup page or a Meetup group. I don't know. I'm still confused about what they call it. But use the same search term, DC Dads Group. DC Dads Group. All right, so we are nearing where I live, my one-car garage townhome, 3 bedrooms, lovely backyard. Hello. This little curved part of the road right here, in the springtime and in the fall, oh my God, it's so beautiful. Kingstown also does a great job with maintaining the landscaping. Look at that, we already have the fresh mulch. This is March, mid-March. They've already mulched it up. They already got the trees nice and trimmed, ready to do their performance for the springtime. This area is going to be gorgeous, gorgeous. I probably should do another walk once the spring leaves come in. Also, look, I like these cul-de-sac areas in the community. We have a lot of kids that play over here in this area. My kids play in the backyard, although my kids are getting older now, so they're not playing outside as much. Man, they were right. Kids do grow fast. They grow up fast. Or really, I think how do you remember the time is issue. Okay, so that's it for this part of the tour. There we go. All right, so that's it. Hope you enjoyed this tour. The sun is, I guess it's like, 12 o'clock or so don't have good coverage. Anyway, let us know if you have any questions about the Kingstown area. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, share this video to any of your friends or anybody else you know moving to the area. And I will see you on the next video. Peace.